All right, this is example 2 of 4E notes, and we're going to do part B. So again, we're going to determine if this represents a linear function by seeing if the change in the y is constant. So 9 minus 8, this is dropping 1, so this is minus 1. From 8 to 5 is minus 3, and from 5 to 0 is minus 5. So we can see in the other one where we plus 3 each time and it was constant, this changes. Even though it's a pattern, it's still a changing pattern. So this doesn't represent a linear function, but we are asked to go ahead and graph it. So let's plot those points. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 1, 8. We have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 3, 0. So you can kind of see it curves a little bit right there. So example 2C, again, we're looking to see if it's going to be linear. So we can see here this is going to be minus 2. Here from 6 to 4 is minus 2. And from 4 to 2, I'm going to do minus 2. So yes, this is constant. So this is going to be a linear function. It starts with an 8. Then we got 8 minus 2. Then we have our 8 minus 2 that we had here, which was 6, and we minus 2 more. And then here we had our 8 minus 2, and then minus 2 more. So our equation is going to be y is equal to 8, it's always 8, and then minus 2. Now this is changing, but remember the number of 2's that we're multiplying is the x value. So x is 1, x is 2 2's, x is 3, so we are subtracting 3 2's. So this is going to be 8 minus 2x for our equation. When we graph it, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 3, 1, 2. So you can see our line dropping right there. In example D, here, this is going to be plus 0, plus another 0, plus another 0. So you can see, again, it's constant. It's a constant 0. So this is going to be a linear function. We start with 5 and we add nothing each time. So our y is equal to 5. I guess you could put plus 0 in, but there's no sense in doing that. When we graph that function, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1, 5. We have 2, 5. And we have 3, 5. We're going to skip over to example 4. We're going to make a table of values and then graph each function rule, appropriately labeling and scaling the axes. Decide if the graph is continuous or discrete, then find the domain and range of the situation. So A, W of G is equal to 8G plus 700 represents the total weight, W, in pounds, of a spa containing G gallons of water. The spa contains 250 gallons of water when full. All right, so we need to decide how we're going to set our chart up. So I guess we could make a table here. Let's do a table. And G is going to be our input, and W will be our output. So on our graph, we'll come over here. The input is G, and the output is W. So we'll start off with, if we have no gallons of water, then we have 8 times 0, 0 plus 700. The spa weighs 700 pounds empty. Then we might put in, let's just start off and just go maybe 100. If I put 100 in, that's 800 plus 700 is 1,500. If we put 200 in, we'll get 1,600. 8 times 200 is 1,600 plus 700 is 2,300. And then, of course, it says that its maximum is going to be 250. So we'll put in 250. So that's going to give us 8 times 250 is 2,000 plus 700 is going to be 2,700. So that's max. So when we're setting up our gallons, since the maximum number of gallons is 250, we might do these in 50. So I have a 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. And then going up, it looks like the maximum that we have is 2,700 pounds. So I want to go to 2,700. I'm going to start at 0. So we might go in 500s here. So 500, 1,500, 2,500. So to plot points, we have 0, 700 would be, this is 1,000, would be right about here. So that was 0, over 100, up 1,500, which would be here. Over 200, up 2,300, which would be maybe right here. And then over 250 and up 2,700, which would be right about here. And you see that it forms a line. Now notice I stop. I'm stopping at the 500 and I'm stopping at the 250 because I can't put any more in there. So is this continuous or discrete? That's right, it's continuous. It's not separate points, but a continuous. When you're pouring water into a spa, it doesn't just jump from here to here automatically. It fills up slowly and fills in a continuous line like this. Domain and range, and this is asking for the range and domain of the situation. This line actually would continue if I were to graph it forever, but in this situation, the domain, the smallest it can be for the number of gallons in the spa is going to be 0. So for the domain, we're going to have that 0 can be less than or equal to, we'll call it G, and that's less than or equal to the maximum number of gallons that can go into the spa is 250. So in this situation, we're going to be restricted in our domain and range. So then our range, we'll have to look at our results here. We can see that the lowest Y value or W value posted is going to be 700. So I'm going to have 700 is less than or equal to W is less than or equal, and the highest one was 2,700.